Join Joe, John, and Jim as they discuss the biggest stories in the world of sports.
You put them all together, it makes a nice package, right?
Get ready
for passionate and intelligent conversation about the biggest issues and personalities in sports.
It's unscripted.
Somehow got mono. God knows who he was making out with.
Some people call him dirty. I like to call him creative.
It's unfiltered.
I'm going to need another beer soon.
And I said, well, hold, you're making my point, right?
My thoughts are I'm going to call my therapist after the show is what I'm going to do.
This is tough. Been kind of stewing on this for an hour or so now, and it still isn't getting any easier. I think all of Jets Nation is probably feeling the same way, and as hard as it is to say each and every week that you want your team to lose, this victory hurts more than I can remember. I've got to think back to the AFC Championship game, losing that one to the Steelers at the very end after that massive comeback, just to come up barely short. This kind of feels similar to that. This is really difficult, and I think the only way that I'm going to get through it is with your guys' help. I need a few minutes to kind of vent through this, because this is rough. I mean, there was games that I was worried about, where I was kind of mentally prepared for what the outcome could possibly be, and there was this game that I did not see going this way whatsoever. This is one of those losses that's going to haunt this team for years to come. I don't know if bad luck is really a thing, but it's hard to see anything being coincidental at this point with the New York Jets. They are so bad, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong. It's hard to fathom this. Like, they can't even lose right. They can't win right. They can't lose right. You just handed Jacksonville the keys to Trevor Lawrence. I found it hard to think of a player that I hated more than Tom Brady. Luckily for Tom Brady, he still holds that title. But Adam Gase, since he's not a player, can't compete with that. But I hate Adam Gase at this point in my life more than anybody else. I don't want to wish ill on anybody. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. But I fucking hate Adam Gase at this point. He has come in and turned this franchise into a complete fucking shit show. Absolute shit show. And he's got to do just enough to walk out this door at the end of the year, giving the Jets the second pick in the draft, and leaving us in this continuous, perpetual cycle of mediocrity. If we can even make it to mediocrity, because you think back over the years, what's going to happen? We're going to end up, my prediction, trade out of number 2. I don't know if Fields good enough. The Ohio State games that I've seen, he's okay, but he's not great. He's not Trevor Lawrence. You trade out of that pick, you get a couple of extra first rounders. You're not getting the Trevor Lawrence type of ransom that you would be getting, not for Fields. And they're just going to fuck the picks up. That's all it is. Just like a couple years ago, we get the first round pick. We draft D. Milner, the can't miss corner out of Alabama. What did he play for us? 3 games, and he was out of the league. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I need to, like I said, I need you guys to kind of help me get through this, because I feel like I don't know, being a Jets fan, what it's like to lose a Super Bowl. I don't know what it's like to see your team in a Super Bowl, but I imagine that this is somewhat what it feels like. I mean, we were on the cusp of having possibly, right? Nothing's guaranteed, possibly a transcendent quarterback in the green and white, and it's gone. I mean, yes, Jacksonville could win a game because God knows we had no business winning this game. No business whatsoever winning this game. Even being competitive in this game. Shouldn't even been competitive, but somehow we won this game. So who knows? Maybe Jacksonville can beat the Bears. I don't know. Maybe Indy will be done playing, or they're overlooking them. Maybe like the Rams did to the Jets. I don't know. I'm hoping. I really am. That something good can still come out of this. And here's the worst part. And for Rams fans, man, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck happened. I really don't. I don't know if you guys were looking forward to Seattle next week and fell into a classic trap game. I'm not happy about it. But the worst part is we just improved Seattle's odds of winning the division and increasing their draft picks so we get less back for Jamal Adams. So adding insult to injury, not only are we now out of the running for Trevor Lawrence, but we have now just increased or decreased the value of our Seattle pick coming back from Jamal Adams, who got to celebrate his lock into the playoffs. This is the shit that goes on year in and year out for Jets fans. It's soul crushing. It really is. I don't really know how else to say it. I honestly feel like somebody died. That's how I feel inside. I am so hurt that this happened. There were a couple games that I was worried about. The Raiders game, I was worried about. If we would have won that game, I was mentally prepared for it. This game, I was not mentally prepared for at all. And, a couple Rams house, I could only imagine. But you know what? On the flip side, you guys are still going to the playoffs. You still have a solid team around you. It sucks, but you guys are going to still be in it. The Jets, this is it, man. Year in, year out, the perpetual cycle of shit just continues. 10 years straight and running. What's going to change, right? Sam Darnold's good enough to win a couple games, but even in this game, I can't explain any of it. He only had 207 yards passing. 1 touchdown. It's not like he just shouldered the load, put up 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and just blew this thing open. I hate to say it because I loved him and I thought he was great, but he's a mediocre quarterback. He really is. He should have went absolutely bonkers with the way that the Rams defense played today, because this was not the Rams defense that we've seen all year. I thought they were going to absolutely obliterate the Jets. Aaron Donald, for some reason, couldn't get into the backfield, and he wasn't even going against Mekhi Becton. I can't understand this. I really can't. I mean, Frank Gore, 37 years old, was running the ball somewhat effectively, right? 23 carries. This is the shit that pisses me off. 23 fucking carries for Frank Gore. For 59 yards, he averaged 2.6 yards a carry. You feed him the ball 23 times. Ty Johnson got 3 carries in the game. How? Why? How did we win this game? Somebody explain to me how this game happened. I can't explain it at all. And then on top of it, we lost Quinnen Williams in the fourth quarter. Jared Goff should have absolutely shredded us, because once Quinnen went out, the defensive pressure got extremely soft, and I can't explain it. Nothing about this game made any sense at all, and it's just I can't even come up with words. I'm just crushed, absolutely crushed. You don't want to watch the highlights, Carlos. You don't want to watch the highlights because nothing great happened. It was an ugly game. It was ugly, but man, I can't even tell you how much my heart hurts right now. It's just devastating. It's devastating. Congratulations to Jacksonville. I'm sure you guys won't fuck it up. I'm sure you guys will carry this thing right to the end, get your franchise quarterback, get one of the top prospected quarterbacks coming out of college football in the last 20 years. You got him. You got him. And I've said it every single week. You cannot win in this league without an elite cornerstone quarterback. You cannot do it. Can't. The Rams are a perfect example. Aaron Donald is hands down the top 3 defensive players in the league, and he lost to the Jets. He could not stop the Jets from scoring. So if you tell me, you need to build up the defense, you need to build the offensive line, bullshit. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. If Aaron Donald can lose to the Jets and can't get pressure on Sam Darnold, it's not that important. You have to have a cornerstone piece at the quarterback position, or you're useless. It's just pointless. Now, I don't know what the Jets do from here. I have no idea what they do. Do you draft Fields with the second pick if that's where you end up? Do you trade out of that and hope that you can get enough? It's tough to say, but to watch this game play out was one of the hardest things I've ever had to sit through. And that includes back-to-back AFC championship losses. Like that was rough. That was rough as a Jets fan. I know everybody feels it. And there's people out there that, you know what, for Jets fans that are out there celebrating right now, your first win, fucking enjoy it. Enjoy it, because you're only going to have a handful for the next couple seasons to go off of, because we're not going to change. Sam's not good enough to win 10 games a season. He's just not. He went with his best 3 guys, and he still looked worse than Joe Flacco did. Still didn't put up the numbers Joe Flacco did. So don't tell me that this is our guy. I mean, I wanted it to be desperately. I was super pumped when we drafted him, but this is not the guy that's going to lead you to a championship. It's just not. Rams, thank you for participating. I'm sure you know exactly. You're probably feeling somewhat similar to how I am, but yeah, I mean, I should have seen this coming as a trap game with the Rams. I thought, being in the driver's seat for the NFC West, that they would take this game seriously and put it away quick. And win that division. I really did. I thought this game, after Seattle went in and manhandled them, I thought the Rams were going to come in here on fire, focused, and ready to blow them out of the water. And they didn't. I was worried about the Patriots the last week of the season. Did not see this game coming at all. So, oh, man. So it's hard. It's really hard at this point to figure out, 1, how to feel, and 2, what to think. I mean, Adam Gase has done more damage, and he will, without a doubt, go down as the worst coach in franchise history. No doubt, in my mind, he is the worst coach to ever wear the green and white, ever. And this win cements it, because now he's done. And if he's not done, I'm done. If he's back next year, I'm picking a new team. I'm telling you that right now. It's on the record. If Adam Gase is the coach of the Jets, I'm fucking done, because I cannot ride this wave with him anymore. It is at a point to where it's not even worth it. It's not fun. It is not fun being a fan. Rex Ryan made the game fun. It's been downhill since then. The team has been uncompetitive. It's been hard to watch. But you always had the hope of next year. If Adam Gase comes back, what are you hoping for? Nothing. There's nothing. I might have to go out and, like everybody says, buy that Russell Wilson jersey, or I might have to just go trade in my Jets Jamal Adams jersey for a Seahawks Jamal Adams jersey. I might as well root for the team that's out here that actually can put a competitive team on the field. week in and week out, has a coach who has an idea of what's going on, who, oh, by the way, used to coach the Jets for 1 year, and then we cut bait on him too. So it's tough. It's tough. All right. My heart hurts like we just lost a big game. It's not fun at all. And I really do think, I know there's some Jets fans out there that are happy about this, that are happy for the win, but there's no upside. There was no upside to this win. All it does is slow down the rebuild. That's it. And this team is clearly in a rebuild. Greenfield, welcome to the show. Absolutely agree with you, and I'm glad. And I hate to say I'm glad at anything at this point, but I'm glad I'm not the only one feeling this way and going through this, because this is. I imagine you're feeling exactly the same way I am. Exactly the same way. Absolutely crushed. It's tough, and so we're looking at the second pick in the draft. Where do we go with that? Is it Fields? Do we stick with Darnold for another year? I don't feel like at this point, Darnold's not good enough. Even if we hold on to him for one more year, we're not picking up his fifth-year option. You're not going to pay him $22 million to pick up that fifth round or that fifth year. So he's gone next year anyway, unless he's going to sign some super cheap contract, which why would he? I don't know. Maybe he would to try to prove himself, but then if this is who he is, we're just going to go through this for the next 3 years on a new contract, and then what? Then we're back where we started again. That's also an outstanding point. This isn't going to attract any top coaches. So Gase is gone, because how can you support this, right? He won 6 games last year. He shouldn't have won at all. He played the worst teams in the league. I mean, you win against the Dolphins, you win against the Giants, against the Washington football team, previously the Redskins, they're all picked in like the top 5. Those games were gimmies. So he won shitty games that he had no business winning if the schedule was actually legit. He should have been fired last year, when he probably really should have only won 3 games with this team. Should have been fired last year. Now he's going to win 1 game. God knows they'll screw it up and probably win 3. But yeah, once you fire him, who are you going to bring in? Trevor Lawrence was your key to bringing in a top coaching candidate, to have that piece to build off of. I don't know who would want to take this team on right now. I don't. You either think you got to hire somebody who thinks Fields is the real deal, and you're going to take him at number 2 and build around that. You're going to take somebody, or you're going to trade back. You're going to get a bunch of draft picks and say, here, do whatever you want with it. That's kind of your options at this point. And it's rough. And I would love to hear what the rest of the Jets fans, what Jets Nation is feeling right now, because I can only imagine it mirrors what I'm feeling. But this is devastating. This is devastating. I was worried about the Patriots the last week of the season if we were still winless. I didn't see this coming. It's just tough. And on top of that, we've got a bunch of guys that are on a 1-year contract. So they're not even invested in the long term. They're out of here. As soon as this year is over, they're packing their bags and they're going to the first team that offers them a contract that isn't the Jets, because this team's got a long way to go to get up. So this is one of the lowest points that I can remember as a Jets fan. And I hate to say it, because the Jets won. That's the worst possible thing in the world, right? Is you should be happy. This is why you watch sports, to watch your team win. But I personally was so invested in getting Trevor Lawrence and turning this thing around in this 10 years of just miserable Jets football had the silver lining. It had the opportunity to be over, and it's not. It's not. Barring a miracle from the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's not over. So, I said I needed to get on here and just kind of talk to you guys and use this as a little way to get my feelings out and let you know what I'm going through and hopefully to hear what you guys are going through and feeling, because I can't imagine it's anything good right now after watching this. The Rams side of the house, the Jets side of the house, just devastating. Devastating. Now we've just handed Seattle the keys to first place in their division. If they get home field advantage at all in the playoffs, good chance they win those games now. I mean, granted, yes, there's no fans in the stands, but if you don't have to travel, just makes life easier. They win a couple games in the playoffs. Now we get their 30th pick. God forbid the 32nd pick, the 31st pick. We're trying to rebuild. We could have had the 25th, 26th pick if the Rams could have won the division. Hopefully, Seattle would have to travel to New Orleans, something like that. Get knocked out in the first round. There you go, 26th pick in the draft instead of the 30th pick, the 31st pick. It's a big difference. It really is. It's tough. We could not have picked a worse game to win. We really couldn't. We could have beat the Raiders. That wouldn't have had significant impact. We could have beat the Seahawks. That would have been fine. But we won the one game that was probably the most detrimental to the future of the Jets. So it's just it's rough. I hope everybody out there, Jets Nation, is doing okay with this and finding a way through it. I know some things help more than others, but all right. Well, I think I've gotten a good amount off my chest. So thank you for listening. I hope everybody out there is okay. I hope Jets Nation is okay. I hope Adam Gase trips and falls and can't coach for the rest of the year. I just don't know exactly how to feel at this point. I really don't. I wanted Gase to finish out the year because I thought that was going to be what locked up the first pick. Now I hope they fucking fire him. Just fire him because there's nothing left. And Carlos, this is probably the hardest question that anybody can ask, because I have no idea at this point who the Jets could go after, who you could get to come in. And that scares me, because if you can't get anybody, what do you do with Gase? I don't know. I don't know who would be enticed by the prospect of coming to this team right now. I don't know. This team has a lot of work ahead of it. A lot of work. Gase is not the answer. I don't know what coach is. I can't imagine Eric Bieniemy wanting to leave the Chiefs now and coming here without Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I think the best bet would probably be to try and grab somebody in college at a smaller school that's having a great year. Maybe the guy from Northwestern, somebody like that maybe you're catching lightning in a bottle with before he's really on the radar, a national scope, maybe. If not, why would you want to? I get it. There's only 32 jobs in the NFL, and they're very coveted jobs. But at the same time, you don't want to just you don't just walk in. You don't walk into a fire without a hose, right? Like sometimes, things, you just watch things burn. You're not just going to walk in there and try and put it out, with a water gun. Like, so yeah, I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. This is going to be interesting to watch and see. You're in quite the dilemma, like Greenfield was saying. You're in quite a dilemma now with how you go with leadership. I don't know how you could stick with Gase, but I don't know who would want the job. You don't have a defensive coordinator. Who's going to want that job? Joe Douglas, man, God, I feel bad for you. You are in a position that I do not envy. You are in a position to rebuild a team that is still going down. I thought it was at the bottom, but it's not. So it's going to be tough. And like I said, God, I wish I could be happy that the Jets just pulled out a big win against the Rams. I wish it was a meaningful game. I wish they were in a playoff hunt and it mattered. I miss when Jets games mattered. And that sucks to say because it's been so long. You know, that the last game that the Jets won against a winning team was, I think, October 17th of 2018. October of 2018 was the last time the Jets beat a team above 500. Not counting the Bills last year when they were playing their second string in the last game of the season that they won. I don't count that one because it wasn't the actual team that was above 500. It was all the backups. So the last time they won a game was October of 2018 against a competitive team above 500. Think about that. It is December of 2020. And the last time they won a game that mattered was October of 2018. It sucks. And it sucks feeling this way. And it really sucks rooting for your team to lose. But this was our opportunity to change things. I know Trevor Lawrence isn't a guarantee. I get that. Nothing's guaranteed anywhere. But you got to play the odds. And the odds are he's going to be good. And we're going to watch him be great in Jacksonville. And I don't know what the future holds. I really don't. But we will. I'm going to take the night to kind of digest this, to hopefully come to terms with it. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do the whole recap show and get into it. But yeah, Jets, Giants. We'll see how the Giants do tonight. The nice thing for Jets fans, Patriots got knocked out by the Dolphins, so that's awesome. You know, obviously, it couldn't. That good feeling couldn't carry through the Jets game, but it's nice seeing the Pats get knocked out. That was good. Get to watch the playoffs for the first time or the second time in 20 years. So that's good. But yeah, Jets fans, please, keep your head up, comment, let me know what you guys are thinking, feeling on the show. We'll be back tomorrow. The trio, me, John, and Jim. We'll sit down. We'll talk about, I'm sure Jim will have some feelings on tonight's game, how that one plays out. It's a must-win for them against Cleveland. We'll see what John's got to say about the Patriots getting knocked out of the playoffs. It's not something that's very familiar with him either. So it should be a very emotional show next week. Probably a lot of upset people for Monday. So I know I am. I'm sure John is. We'll see what Jim feels like. But please, if you're watching this, if it's your first time watching it, please subscribe to the show. Hit the alert button. Make sure you like or give it a thumbs up. And please come back tomorrow, especially Jets fans. I want to know how you guys are feeling, what's going on through your head. Hopefully tomorrow you've kind of digested this as well. We're going to talk about the way forward, what's to come, what looked good in this game, and where we think it's going. So I'd like to hear from Jets Nation what you guys are thinking, how you guys are feeling, what you think we should do next. So thanks for listening to me. Thank you for participating. Thank you for making sure that I'm not crazy over here, sad that the Jets won. It's good to know I'm not out of my mind. But so yeah, until tomorrow, thank you. And please subscribe and come back tomorrow and let me know exactly how you're feeling. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.